you know, if the track was hard to find before, then it's really difficult now. Well, g'day. Thanks for joining me on another trip. It's another solo trip this time. So out for, what are we out for? 3 nights out in the mountains. First winter trip of the year. So really looking forward to this one. We've got a nice forecast. You know, like it's cold. I mean, at present it's about 4 degrees overnight. I think the forecast is about -5. There's some possible snow, but all in all, it's pretty good. So, you know, it's cold enough for us to bring out some different equipment, mix up our systems a little bit. So that's always nice and a bit of an experiment. So, really looking forward to it. Kind of, you know, punched out about 7 or 8 Ks of pretty open trail or fire trail, and kind of on our first significant climb of the day. Hence the heavy breathing. For some reason I thought this was a good place to stop and talk, but you know, yeah. So about another 7 or 8 Ks to go today. We'll set up camp, and then, you know, a bit more off-track stuff tomorrow. So it should be really good. Really looking forward to this trip. Yeah. Whew. It's tiring though. It's tiring, but so nice to be out breathing the mountain air. So it's really cool. Really cool. So just passed through the gap after first significant climb of the day. Bit of a descent now, and then yeah, really continue along this really easygoing trail. And yeah, no bush bashing today. It should just be a nice plod along. Still got quite a few Ks to cover before it gets dark, so be cutting it a bit fine, but I think we'll be alright. I mean, how cool is that massive boulder up there? Not sure if you'll see it on the camera, but I mean, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be nice to get along a little bit in this terrain. We'll start to open up a bit later on. We'll have snow gums and hopefully some snow, and yeah, some chilly nights, but it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a really good trip. Alrighty, so you know, where are we? We're coming into this large flat area here, which is, you know, I think one of the places they like you to camp in this area, or where people tend to camp. So yeah, so we'll go down there. We'll have a sticky bag, see what it's like. I think there's a few restrictions to camping down here, which I'll review. Then yeah, go from there, I guess. But I did see somewhere that was actually quite alright just back there, but we've got to go get water anyway, so we'll go down here, find some water, and see what we've got for camping spots. Alrighty, so got the tent set up. Definitely a warmer tent for this trip. It's going to be so cold, and possibly a bit of snow. Yeah, so the sun's going down pretty quickly. It's going to get really cold as soon as it does. So I think now the tent's up, quickly going to throw my bed together. I'm probably going to put some food on too before it gets too dark and too cold. So I might just and reality is, I guess, once the sun goes down, it's going to get bitterly cold here, and then I'm likely just going to retreat into the tent. But we had this big clearing and stuff behind us, but I haven't pitched out there largely because it's more of into a hollow. So I've tried to stay up on the edge of that. I've tried to keep in amongst the trees. So it's potentially going to give me shelter me for a little bit from any wind and stuff like that. The cold air is going to sink right into the bottom of that bowl out there as well. And then like trees kind of generate its own little microclimate underneath them. So so hopefully that'll sort of help make the night a little bit cozier. So that's the plan anyway. So as appealing as all that big open space out there is, and it looks pretty amazing. I'll try and go for a walk around there again later. But I think under the shelter, a little bit of trees here, right, a little bit higher than that bowl out there is actually a good move. So we'll see how we go. All right, I'm going to get cracking. Good morning. It is a tropical -7 according to the thermometer. I was pretty tired. I feel like I was in bed by like 6:30 yesterday. Woke up a lot, but had a pretty good night's sleep. Still reasonably comfortable. Sleep system did really well. So I didn't even fully close the quilt up, and I wasn't really cold or anything like that, so no need to add additional layers so that's really good. Obviously I'm in a nice warm tent, which is nice, so really happy so far with the sleeping mat and the Neve Gear quilt. So that's actually really good. Really chuffed about that system. It's definitely the coldest I've tried it in. So that's awesome. This morning I think I'm not in a rush, so I'm gonna wait for the sun to hit here a little bit and dry everything out a little bit, and then during that time I think probably gonna have like hot coffee, hot chocolate maybe as well, get some warm fluids into me, and only got about 10 or so k's to travel today to get to where I think our next camp's going to be. So but I mean that is on top of the peak, so it might be a bit of a slow 10 k's, but no rush. Like, forecast is nice, and should be a good day. Alrighty, well, bit of a late start, bit of a relaxing morning. I mean, it's a nice part of the world. Temperatures above zero now, so be a bit more enjoyable, and we've pretty much the first part of the trail today is going to be a river crossing, so it's going to be freezing cold. Not looking forward to it. Definitely try and keep all my stuff dry. A lot of the time I just plod through a river crossing, but due to how cold it is, I think I'm going to try and keep shoes, pants, everything dry. So matter of taking everything off and wading across and popping it back on the other side. Pick up some water while I'm there, and maybe ditch a layer there too. Thought it might be nice to try and stay warm before I did that crossing. So then after that, we've just got big slog uphill, about 10 k's today, and then find a nice spot to camp in amongst the snow gums. Should be nice. Really looking forward to today. I really like this part of the world, and really like getting up into those sort of semi-alpine areas as well, so it's pretty cool. Should be a good day. Alright, so about to cross the river. Normally I'd set a tripod up and film this kind of stuff, but I just really don't want to do this one twice. This is I'm not looking forward to this. It is gonna be, oh, that is cold. Oh, normally I like a cold swim, but man, whew, feel like my feet are going numb already. Oh, that's actually painful. Holy crap. Oh man, wow. Wow, that actually, oh, my feet genuinely hurt from that. Wow, that's cold. I'm sure they'll feel good in a minute, because your body always feels great after you've come out of some cold water. But alright, gonna get my shoes back on, dry my feet off, and then we can get going for the day. Alright, so I feel like finally on the way, across the creek, or the river, we've collected some water, stripped off a layer, even though it's pretty chilly, so keen to actually get moving, generate some body heat. It's pretty cold. But layering's kind of a tricky one in cold temperatures, because you leave all your layers on and then you got to pull them off in 15 minutes once you generate a bit of heat, or you leave them on and you start to perspire a lot, which is really what you don't want in the cold. So cold temperatures, it comes a lot down to moisture management as well. So you get soaking in perspiration, and then you as soon as you stop, you get super cold because of that perspiration. It's like you're in wet clothing. So you end up with, I guess, maybe a few different kinds of layers and things like that to try and manage that, rather than one big jacket, etc. So it's a little bit chilly, but get the blood pumping and then should be pretty good. As I mentioned before, steep uphill for most of today, so bit of a slow grind, and 3/4 of it's fire trail as well, so not the most scenic walking, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty beautiful area. So put up with a bit of fire trail stuff for some nice views, etc. Onwards and upwards. So sometimes GPS devices make you a little bit complacent on the navigation front. If you're wondering why I'm walking back downhill, it's because I wasn't paying attention and I actually started up the wrong fire trail. So so now we're adding a bit of extra distance into our walk. I mean, I could have kept going this way, but it would change what I was planning significantly. So so now we backtrack, and a bit of a reminder to pay a bit more attention, I guess. Anyway, it's pretty walking this way as well. Oh, this is steep. There is definitely no backwards and forwards for the camera on this one. This is just a slow grind up steep hill. We're doing okay. A little extra time pressure because of me taking the wrong turn, but I think we'll be alright. So we're on the final climb of the day, and there is a track here, but it's difficult to follow and it requires a lot of concentration, and I feel like a little bit less time than I'd like due to my detour earlier on, but I've already lost this trail a few times, and this kind of frost or dusting of snow or whatever sometimes make it even trickier to follow this trail, but I think we're making okay time. You want to get to the top, a bit before sunset. I'd like to get set up and be organized and watch the sunset, but yeah. So there we go. I think we're doing all right. I think we'll just make it. So about a K to the summit, definitely more snow, temperatures drop significantly, but it's so beautiful seeing these places in snow. It's really pretty. Got my feet wet in the swamp, so gonna have to manage that a little bit when I get up there, but yeah, I think pretty soon we'll start looking for a place to camp, either this side of the summit or the other. Just start keeping an eye out. There's actually some tracks here in the snow which are either a fox or a wild dog. Don't look that old, so that's not that encouraging. The views behind me are pretty amazing though. Oh, it's stunning. Alright, let me get up and over here before it gets too dark, so keep pushing on. So beautiful. Well, we made the summit and it is glorious, but haven't left myself very much time, so I'm gonna have a quick scout around for a campsite. I think I spied one on the sheltered side of the mountain, so I'm probably gonna take that, but it's absolutely stunning, so beautiful. But it's cold. Initially I'd wanted to camp down in here, but I feel like I'm really pressed for time, and I feel like by the time I head down there, I'm gonna struggle. So I think I spied a spot over here that might work. I'm gonna investigate that, see if we can set up camp there. It's really pretty up here though. It's like top of the world stuff. Yeah, so good. Morning. It's a bit of a cold, windy and chilly night last night, but we're waking up in an amazing part of the world, so hopefully the sun pokes its head out a little bit more, because it's quite nice when it does. But it was pretty cold. Like I took my shoes and everything inside the tent last night, and they froze even inside the tent, and but I was pretty toasty. So the sleep system I've been going with, which I mentioned in another video, is the like the Nemo mat and the Neve Gear quilt and stuff like that. Like, really happy with. So I was actually really comfortable. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to feel like you made the right decisions on some gear. So part of this trip was to come out to actually test that I'd made those right decisions, and pretty happy with it so far. So that's pretty awesome. As for today, I've been on the fence quite a bit with what we're going to actually do today. I had thought about traversing across the top of the mountains here, but then it puts me in a weird place where I either have to camp too early, or I'm going to have nowhere to camp, when it potentially sets me up for a massive day tomorrow, because I'm only allowed to spend 3 nights in this particular park. So I think I'm just going to backtrack today the way I came. I'm going to hang around up here on the top of the mountain for a little while and do a bit of wandering around here, and head back down the way I came, and hopefully travel along a bit further, camp in a different spot to where I was yesterday, and then have a shorter day out on the final day. So that might be nice as well. So it's it's pretty windy up here, but it's nice. There's obviously more snow overnight, so that's cool. It's nice to wake up to. Come on, sun. There we go. See, look at that. Listen, it's beautiful. Whoa, it's windy and slippery. Well, I feel like I made a great choice on the campsites, because initially I had thought about camping down in here. It's really pretty with all the snow gums and stuff like that, but it just feels like it would have been belted with wind. I was quite thankful to be a little bit sheltered where I was. So I mean, you could see by the angle of the trees and stuff like that the way the wind normally passes over the top of here. So but it really happy with my choice because it's cold up here and very windy. So I'm actually getting nearly blown over up here. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna head back down to where camp was. I was hoping the sun was going to come out, but it may not. It may just be a matter of quick snack for breakfast and then head down to some lower ground, pack up the tent, and maybe head down to some lower ground and where I can actually enjoy, coffee or hot drink and stuff like that. So I think that's gonna be the plan. I think. Been really lucky with the weather, and hoping that luck was going to hold out and get a clear morning this morning, but not to be. Alright, so just kicking back in my tent, made myself a cup of tea. It's pretty cold and windy outside. The sun's kind of, refusing to show itself. So what I'll likely do is, fish up my tea and stuff, and then I'm just going to start packing up here. We'll, and then we'll start heading back, get below the snow line. So, so that'll help warm my feet up and stuff like that a little bit because they are pretty cold. So. But otherwise, it's all good. It's not the most comfortable tent to spend a lot of time in, but it's robust and it's very warm, and so it made for a great night's sleep last night. So, can't have everything, but I've managed to have enough space in here to cook myself a cup of tea. So it's all good. So that's the plan for today. Yep. Back down below the snow line, back the way we came, and then hopefully find ourselves in a new campsite for tonight. It should be good. And then a short day on the last day. Well, this wind is pretty ferocious. Weather's not that great. Pretty keen to get down below the snow line. If the track was hard to find before, then it's really difficult now. So, definitely off it already, but heading in the right direction. So, should cut across it at some point. But, it's pretty chilly. Really missing those waterproof socks at the moment. So, keen to get down below this snow, so should be good. It's really pretty though, but it's a little bit tricky. All right, gotta focus, and we'll see you at the bottom. Oh, what a difference a couple K's make. Out of the wind, predominantly out of the snow. I can feel the snow in my trail runners melting. So, starting to get feeling back in my feet, which is nice. The trail should be a little bit easier to follow now that it's not covered in snow. But it's still kind of a little bit all over the place, this one. So it either doesn't get much traffic, or there seems to be like multiple tangents of trails that make it a bit confusing. But a couple K's to the bottom now. And then we'll pretty much hit the clear track again. So it'll be pretty smooth sailing. Very stop for morning tea. I feel like I'm a little bit dehydrated. Often find it hard to stay hydrated in the cold. So definitely a rest stop at the bottom, and then rehydrate a little bit and get back on track, I think. Alrighty, so descended from the mountains behind us, across the flats, the freezing river, which felt good for about the first 1.5 seconds. Then it just felt like pain. So after that's done, and now we've got about 5k's to go to get to the campsite I picked out on the way in. So that should be alright. It's about 2:30 now. So a few ups and downs to get there, but we should make that pretty comfortably. It'll look like a nice spot. So that'll be good. They'll set us up for a nice short day tomorrow, which would be good as well. So yeah, back along the same route we came in, but that's okay because it's the first time I've ever walked this route, so don't mind getting a second look at it. It's just gone 4 o'clock. We've ticked over 17k's today. Sort of passing by this, pretty well used camping area. There's a nice clearing here, which I'm probably gonna look at. There is some burnt trees and stuff around here, like this one here, obviously the big one to watch out for. So, but I guess a couple of things to consider. The lean it's on, most likely it falls that way. If it falls, be pretty unlikely to tip in a different direction. So bearing that in mind, I'm probably going to set my camp up over this way and just steer clear of that, even though that probably is the nicest spot to set up. And we've got a little bit of light left, some light hitting the mountains up there, so I want to try and get set up pretty quickly, kick back and relax and enjoy this spot. It's the last night on the trail today, so let's try and get organised, have some cheese and crackers, and hopefully watch the sunset on those rocks up there, which should be pretty cool. And this is why you should always bring a laminated map, because they make a great cheese platter board. Just like in the fancy places. Well, good morning. Another absolutely beautiful day. Clear blue skies. We've got the sun just poking out through the trees now. Really good night's sleep. Really cold. Again, obviously it's about -5. My shoes are frozen solid again. So to deal with that this morning, but feel really good this morning. I had like a really good night's sleep, really comfy, like so happy with my sleep system. Lots of condensation in the tent this morning though, so I might try and hopefully get everything to dry out a little bit before I have to pack it away. Only about 10k's to go today, so it's so it's gonna be a pretty relaxing day. It's 10k's of maintained trail or fire trail, so it should just be a steady plod that knock over in a few hours. yeah, that should be good. I'm gonna get a coffee on, and it's gonna relax and enjoy this morning. And it's gonna be so much nicer as soon as the sun hits, and it's coming through the trees already. So yeah, it's gonna be a really nice morning. Alrighty, so just got my coffee, water boiling away, so I'm gonna have a coffee in a second. Just wanted to mention, this foam pad here. So this has been incredibly valuable on this trip. So that folds into 4 pieces. So I mean, this log's covered in ice, so I can still sit on it and well insulated from the cold. It doesn't absorb any water. And then it's the back support for my backpack, so it gives my frameless pack a bit of structure. And then because it's quad fold, I'm unfolding it in 4, and it's a torso size mat, so I can put that underneath my sleeping pad at night time, and it gives my torso, it's going to boost the R value by probably say another 1 or 2 points, so it'll bring my system up to an R value of about 6. So it's been a great versatile bit of kit, so really happy that I brought it on this trip. I think it's given me a lot of benefits, I think, for such a light piece of gear. Alright, coffee time. Alrighty, so on our way, had a pretty easy morning, so it's been nice and calm and sunny, so just used the morning to relax, lay out my stuff everywhere, try and get everything as dry as I possibly can. So it's been pretty cruisy, and so now we're just heading off to knock out those last 10 k's of this walk. So it should only take a few hours, so it should be a nice way to round out the trip. We'll see how we go. I reckon about 3 hours or so should be pretty comfortable. Actually feeling really good today. Just ticked over the hour mark, done 6 k's, lots of downhill but lots of easy going, so moving pretty quickly, which is nice. Still got some nice scenery. We're going to valley and the other ridge line over there, cool granite boulders on top, but it's been really good so far. Some massive wild dog prints along here, so hoping I don't run into any of those. They don't look that old, but it's been a really nice morning. It's nice, the body feels good and everything's going smoothly. It's nice just to get a bit of exercise and get a bit of pace up, so it's a really nice way to round out this walk. So I only got about 4 k's to go, and then back at the car. Look forward to some car treats, and it's been a really nice trip. It's a mix of a few different things and some different landscapes and different campsites, but it's been good. Beautiful weather window. Can't ask for much better weather than this, so it's really nice. Hello everyone. It's alright. Well, the end is officially in sight. Thanks a lot for tagging along for this one. It's been a great trip. We've seen some some varied country of some woodland, some flats, and some peaks, snow, some cold temperatures. You know, got to test out some new gear and put it through its paces, and and learn a few things along the way. So yeah, thanks for tagging along, and if you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.